Alright, so singing talent competition shows are weird. I'm not sure just how widely known this is, but if you have the chance of trying to seek fame in any other way besides going on American Idol, The Voice, America's Got Talent, whatever, you should probably do that. These shows are evil, and I recognize how big of a statement that may seem, but I truly believe it. These major corporations will own you for however long you're on the show, and then assuming you do well, they'll be taking your money and making decisions for you long after the show ends, too. And remember, these are reality shows. Once you sign the waiver to be on the show, they have every right to do these very selective edits to turn you into some kind of character, good or bad. They'll do whatever it takes to get ratings. But in defense of major talent competitions, sometimes, and emphasis on sometimes, they are able to turn regular, very talented people into superstars. That old show Star Search has had a ridiculous amount of famous people on it before they were famous. Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Beyonce, Usher, Alanis Morissette, Christina Aguilera, and the list goes on. Credit where credit is due, they have had a lot of success. American Idol had Kelly Clarkson, she had a few big songs. Carrie Underwood too, Jennifer Hudson was in Dreamgirls, and Ruben Studdard was in the better of the two Scooby-Doo movies, so props to him. The British X Factor actually formed One Direction from a bunch of random kids that signed up for the show, which is insane. They had Leona Lewis, remember Bleeding Love? That song was pretty good. Alright, what else? The Voice. Has anybody gotten big from The Voice? Alright, let me do a quick Google search and see if I can recognize any of the winners. Do any of you know who these people are? Seriously, like, these people won the whole competition. These seasons are on for months at a time, they're always flooding the trending page on YouTube, they won $1 million and a recording contract. Could any of you name who these people are? Who is Allison Porter? Who is Josh Kaufman? Who is this girl? And her, too. Who is this guy? Well, actually, that's my friend Joe, but see? I bet none of you could even tell the difference because The Voice has not produced any superstars. And that fact is what makes this whole story even weirder. Let me see you, yeah, right to the right. That is Cupid, and this is a clip from him on The Voice. I'll do a short background here because I spent a long time rambling about why these shows are bad. Cupid made the Cupid Shuffle. You know, the song that has played at every school dance you've ever been to, the song at weddings where people just kind of sway around awkwardly because it doesn't have as specific instructions as the much superior Cha-Cha Slide. I will go on record saying that the Cupid Shuffle is probably a better song than the Cha-Cha Slide, but at weddings and school dances, the Cha-Cha Slide is more fun than the Cupid Shuffle because the Cha-Cha Slide tells you everything you need to know, right? And that clapping part, and also you're only going to hear those two songs during events like weddings and school dances, so through that logic, if one song is better than the other during those kinds of events, the Cha-Cha Slide is better than the Cupid Shuffle. Alright, that was weird. So, back to the video. So Cupid made the Cupid Shuffle in 2007, and it was a massive song. It went triple platinum, and if there's any justice in the world, he's still probably getting some decent residuals for his one super popular song. Moving on.
The Cupid Shuffle is a song I made in 2006. Next thing I know, it sold 2 million copies.
While he may have made it in 2006, the song came out in 2007, and since this aired, the song has sold 3 million copies, not 2. I promise I'm not lying to you about the Cupid Shuffle. And just for perspective, what you're watching came out in 2012, so a good 5 years after all the Cupid Shuffle fame began.
It's kind of something that's a part of American culture with weddings.
Yep, you heard all the stuff that I said, you probably knew it anyway, but yes, all of what he just said is very true. So if you're like me, with what you've seen up until now, you might be thinking, oh, Cupid is coming on The Voice to do a fun live performance or something. These talent competitions always have famous musicians come on to perform. Or because this show has you paired up with the judges, or coaches as they're called, maybe Cupid is gonna help everyone out in some way. He can give advice to the contestants on his time in the spotlight and in the music industry.
Unfortunately, the Cupid Shuffle didn't allow my talent to be exposed.
Alright, scratch what I said about him being a guest on the show.
Now it's actually perfect for you. You got 4 coaches. They're only going to judge you based on your voice.
By your voice, and that's why
You're looking for that opportunity.
Absolutely, to prove myself.
Right.
I would love to be a 2-hit or 3-hit or 4-hit wonder.
Right, okay, yeah, right.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Cupid seems like a smart guy. If he comes on The Voice and wows the judges with an incredible audition, he can prove that he's more than just the Cupid Shuffle. Whenever I see interviews with one-hit wonder bands and singers, so many of them absolutely hate the song that made them famous. They would do anything to separate themselves from the legacy that their songs created.
The reason why I want to be on The Voice is because I want millions of people to know that I am a true talent. I would like the coaches to help me with becoming a complete artist.
So Cupid used to be famous because of his one-hit wonder. He's not really famous anymore, but he wants to prove to the world that he has more talent than that song lets on. We already discussed that The Voice is not a great place for regular people trying to make a name for themselves, but maybe for Cupid, somebody who was already famous, this will be the perfect place for him to revitalize his career. He's gonna go on the show, sing something that truly represents how great of a voice he has. All the judges are gonna turn around for him, and he'll get through to the next round. Perfect. So all he has to do is stay far away from the Cupid Shuffle when he's picking what song to sing, and he'll be good.
What are you singing for us here?
I have to face my fears and sing the Cupid Shuffle.
See you, yeah, right
To prove myself.
Right.
I would love to be a 2-hit or 3-hit or 4-hit wonder.
Right, okay, yeah, right. What are you singing for us here?
I have to face my fears and sing the Cupid Shuffle. Sing the Cupid Shuffle. Sing the Cupid Shuffle.
Huh. Alright, back to business.
And why would you want to do that?
I have to sing it to where it's not cliche. The reason why I chose the Cupid Shuffle is because it's the song that defines me, but it's the song that confines me.
I knew this part was gonna be so hard to record. I can't get through this. So this man Cupid, we're gonna ignore the actual logistics of him deciding on singing this song for a second, because he just said the funniest thing I've ever heard. Not only did he come on the show and make the worst possible choice for what song to sing, but he came with a cute little rhyme about that decision. It's the song that defines me, but it's the song that confines me. That is so hard. Oh, I can't believe he said that.
It has not been sung the way that I know I could. I want them to say he sounds better than the original. So that's the key. I do feel that I can express my soul through that song because that song means so much to me and means so much to the world.
So this is when Cupid starts winning me back over. The man has such good intentions, and his plans keep, like, almost making sense, because if he does what he says he's gonna do, maybe it'll work. If he goes up and sings an a cappella version of the Cupid Shuffle and does a bunch of crazy riffs and stuff and really emphasizes how good his voice is, maybe that'll work. At that point, it doesn't really matter what song you choose to sing. If Beyonce sang the numbers in the phone book a cappella, it would still sound great. So Cupid just needs to do a version of the Cupid Shuffle that is unlike the original. Something to really show his voice off. Like Carson Daly says,
They got to listen through the novelty. You're up for that, though.
I'm ready.
So now we get Cupid hyping himself up, saying that he doesn't want to be known as the dance guy, and remember, we want him to do a completely new version of the song that will show off his voice. Let's see what happens.
Down, down, do your dance, do your dance. Down, down, do your dance, do your dance. Down, down, do your dance, do your dance.
This performance goes on, and surprise, surprise, it's a very normal version of the Cupid Shuffle. Sure, if you watch it the whole way through, he sounds solid. It's hard to dance and sing at the same time and sound decent, and he sounds better than decent. But he's on a show where the judges are not looking at you. Dancing around is completely irrelevant, and when a whole section of your song is just yelling out directions with a lot of space in between the lyrics,
To the right, hey, now to the left, to the left.
you are not showing off your voice. The performance goes on, CeeLo Green does this for some reason, and for this show specifically, it's so heartbreaking because you see, in real time, the performer realizing that they're not gonna go through while they're still performing. At least on American Idol, the contestant sings the song, they finish, the judges critique, and then they decide if you're gonna go through or not. That's civil, that's normal. But on The Voice, you see the people get more and more desperate while they're still singing, and it's just sad. And so wait a second, run that back. Did Christina Aguilera just do the Gangnam Style dance while Cupid is performing the Cupid Shuffle on The Voice? Alright, and so quickly before we see Cupid talk to the judges, can we just reiterate what happened here on this horrible day? This guy made a song that went double platinum at the time that this aired. He went on The Voice to further himself from that song, but decided on performing that same song, and none of the judges even turned around for the actual guy that made the double platinum song. So now all the judges are gonna turn around to critique the performance, and they're gonna have to look a double platinum selling recording artist in the face and tell him that him performing the song that made him famous is not good enough to get through the opening round auditions on The Voice. Wow.
Hey man,
So,
what's your name?
Cupid.
Why you know everybody?
Yeah.
That's him. That's his actual song.
Oh my god.
What you doing on this show?
Well, I came to the show basically to show my singing voice. Of course, you know, that song is very big, but it kind of put me in a pigeonhole to some degree. So my goal is to let people know that I really can sing.
I can't even begin to describe how strange it feels watching him continue to explain this horrible plan after he just got denied by all the judges. It is so surreal.
You know what, man? I just thought that it was awkward. I mean, like, it's cool as hell to turn around and it's you, but it's a very peculiar song to do on a show like this, right? Like, it doesn't really, even though I know you can sing, and I think you can tell, like, you know, a bit, but...
There's nothing more awkward than someone explaining out loud the awkward thing that just happened. God bless you, CeeLo Green.
Ah,
That's what
man,
made it kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it was
kept
fun.
Interesting, and I almost pushed my button just as I was like, woo!
Alright, that might have made it even worse.
I tell you what, just sing something else right quick.
I've been really trying, baby.
And this is where all of the madness peaks. So Cupid was a double platinum, viral sensation with his song and dance, the Cupid Shuffle. That was mainly from 2007 to a few years after that. In 2012, he goes on season 3 of The Voice to try and separate himself from his one-hit wonder, with reasoning that it's the song that defines him, but it's also the song that confines him. He decides to sing his one-hit wonder that he's trying to separate himself from. Among other things, this causes YouTubers making videos about this event to jump into the ocean fully clothed. After hyping himself up, Cupid goes on stage and starts performing a very normal version of the Cupid Shuffle, a song that will certainly not get him picked by any of these judges. CeeLo Green does this thing, Christina Aguilera does this thing, and then we have the most awkward conversation of all time. After being rejected, Cupid sings the most basic archetype song of guy trying to prove that he really can sing. The judges seem to be into it, but it's too late, and Cupid walks off stage and back into irrelevance. And so, without any doubt in my mind, while the circumstances are so strange and much different than your average bad performance on a singing competition show, that is the story of the worst audition on The Voice. Hey, thank you for watching that video. I know it was goofy and everything, but honestly, this is one of the hardest I've ever worked on one of these. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it around if you really want to. Other ways you can support the channel are through following me on social media at WorstOutHS, buying my merch, supporting my Patreon, and Cupid, if you're watching this, I love you. I'm sorry. Thanks again.